Space, the final frontier. My name is Captain Foley, and these are my adventures. Captain's Log, Stardate 201508.21. Hey guys, I just thought I'd start my Captain's Log in here today with the 350 scale TOS Enterprise. Don't know if all of you guys have seen it yet, so check it out. I have an interesting fact for you guys about the TOS Enterprise today, so we're going to start with that. So today's interesting fact is about the battle bridge, or the emergency bridge on the TOS Connie. It's actually located on deck 19, which is somewhere almost behind that Starfleet pennant right there. So it's located on deck 19, and it's surrounded by the main ship's computer core, kind of in a semicircle around the entire emergency bridge. Kind of like an amphitheater design. I mean, if you check out the blueprints on the original TOS Connie, you'll see it. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys and kind of highlight my model a little bit here. So if you guys have any facts you'd like to share, or for me to share in my next Captain's Log, and you kind of want credit for it, please put them in the comments and I'll mention them. Show you my bridge. Yeah, you guys get the idea. So now we're going to continue into the other room and get to your comments and questions for me. Alright, let's go do that. So there's your interesting Star Trek fact for the day. Emergency bridge of the TOS Enterprise on deck 19, surrounded by an amphitheater-shaped computer core. So it's well protected-ish. I mean, you got to go through the computer core to get to it. So you take out the computers. Anyway. So yeah, as I just mentioned, maybe if you guys want to submit one or two maybe interesting facts that you might want to see on here, because I love doing the information aspect of the show where you guys learn about Star Trek. That's something that's very important to me, because there's a lot of information that I've acquired over the years from different sources that I'd love to share with you guys. So if you have a suggestion for something you might want information-wise on here, put it in your comment. I'll definitely read it. Just don't make it too long, because I want to keep these rather short. And maybe I'll, I'll obviously try to talk more on it and expand upon it. But I really want to include those little nuggets every time. So I will definitely be picking something interesting to share with you guys. And if you guys have one or two little interesting facts you want to drop in your comment or your whatever, please feel free to do so. And I'll definitely read it. I'm going to get to the point where I'm not going to read every one of these comments or questions. It has to really be worthy of it, because I mean, these run 30 minutes long, a little bit longer sometimes now, so I don't want to make them too long for you guys to sift through. So just keep that in mind. Keep it something that's going to be interesting that I will want to read on screen. I'm going to read all of them today again, but just keep that in mind for the future, guys. All right, so let's get into it. The first one is from William Mann. Great shirt, Captain. Why, thank you. Hope you like this one too. Last Captain's Log, of course, I wore my TOS Command Gold shirt. So thank you, William. And then he goes, laughing my ass off again, because in the last Captain's Log, he was laughing his ass off. William, hi William. He's one of my earliest supporters. He was a big fan of the TOS bridge that I did on my 350 scale refit there. He says it's the best bridge he's seen. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, William, but thank you very much. You guys just saw it too. I have videos on my past videos highlighting my 350 Enterprise, so check those out. And check my playlist, because there's a playlist that has kind of the build procedure for that, and then a bunch of updates for it and stuff. So if you want to learn more about my 350 scale TOS Enterprise, please check those out in my older videos. Next one is from Michael Snyder. That was a good start. Got an LOL out of me. Great episode, as we all expect. I don't know what you meant by good start, but thank you. Next is Steve Donahue. Fantastic and funny Captain's Log as always. But take my advice. Keep the commander away from center seat. He's got a lean and hungry look about him. You'll find yourself in the Tantalus field before the day was out. In fact, it might be best if you assign him to a research pod during an ion storm and accidentally, nudge nudge wink wink, hit jettison. Well, don't you worry about your captain. I know that Samuel might be a little power hungry at times, and he's got a kind of mutinous streak, as we've seen when I've disappeared for a little while on the Trekyards site. But don't you worry, I got a cure for the Tantalus field. I'll get him before he gets me. Guaranteed. So don't worry, your captain's got himself covered. Mr. Martecci. So many things again in this captain's log. That's what I try to do, make it entertaining. First of all, I would love to see a technology episode about the view screen, how it evolved on the different bridges, what it could do, and so on, if there is enough information for that. Probably not the view screen specifically, but we have plans in the works to do a technology episode on the different bridge modules and the different stations and whatnot on each bridge for the refit, because it changes in every movie. TOS, talk about the actual bridge modules themselves, and so there's a technology episode coming up about bridges, so keep an eye out for that. It's just such an iconic piece of tech that all Star Trek ships seem to have in common. Having little Trek stuff in every episode, every captain's log is awesome. Please continue that, and I definitely will, because I know these little tidbits and facts that I've just acquired over the years, and it's interesting that I love being able to share that information with you. That's one of the reasons I jumped on board when Samuel suggested a show talking about Star Trek stuff, and we came up with Trekyards because I wanted to get that information out to you guys. So I really appreciate the fact that you guys are learning something and that you're really interested in that. He goes on to say, about spaceships from anime and Japanese movies, many of it just seems incredibly, maybe it's just me, but maybe it's just me being incredibly unexperienced with this stuff that exists out there. But when I watch some older sci-fi anime, I've always felt that they often don't have this particular background information that would be worth looking at. First and foremost, the ships in these series and storytelling devices that don't get much detailed background like we do in Star Trek. So I doubt that would work good anyway. I assume he's talking about doing episodes for some of these anime ships, which I don't know much about either. I'm not a big anime fan. Second, I find it hard to decide what I would like most from a Trekyard shop. Shirts are always great. And this has been an ongoing thing that I've talked to you guys about. I would love to get your input. So far we've thought of hats, badges, shirts, stickers, calendars. We got a few things in our heads, and we will eventually get around to doing merchandising, but right now it's all kind of developmental, so we're just in the thinking about it process. So stay tuned for that as well. But any suggestions you guys have of things that we could do merchandising wise would be greatly appreciated. Next is from Empyrean Frost. What is your favorite Wolf 359 ship? Winky face. Patrick S. Honestly, probably the New Orleans class. There were so many just thrown together ships for that battle that it's hard to say, but the New Orleans class is kind of a cool design. And, you know, if you don't know what the New Orleans class is, look it up. Trek band names. This is from Michael Gardner. Scotty and the Red Shirts. The first song should be Dead or Alive. Next is Chekhov's Ear. That's a good band name. And then Sulu and the Fencers, with the lyrics to the first song being, I am too sexy for my shirt. Very funny. Thank you very much for sharing. T. Mulvale. Where did you get those screensavers you have going in the background? This is an ongoing question and something I've answered multiple times in different captain's logs, and I'm going to get to the point where I stop answering it. These have been collected over the years from different sources. A lot of them are actual screensavers that were created by people, but a lot of them also are just flash animations or videos set on a random and a loop. So, I mean, just go out there, check it out. There's lots of stuff on Facebook. If you type in Elcars, not Facebook, sorry, YouTube, if you type in Elcars, there's a flash animation site called elcars.uk. Where is it here? Yeah, elcars.org.uk. Go there, and they've got tons of flash animations for Elcars from all different eras, so check that out. Next is from Simon Cordell. Hi, Stuart. I just want to say that I enjoy every Captain's Log and have to admit that I get hypnotized by your LCARS computer screensavers. As do I. As do I. I'm an LCARS junkie. So if you guys have any original LCARS you want to share with me, go to the Facebook page and put them up there. I love TOS and motion picture era are my favorite. So this aesthetic with the blue and green on the black background are my favorite, and then TOS. Keep those in mind. Secondly, your Matt Jeffries trivia was very interesting. It's something I had no idea about. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Next is from King Rocks AS88. 89, sorry. I like having a lot of Trekyards videos. I get that a lot. A lot of people are happy that we're releasing so many, but like I said, some people are like, we can't keep up. We need to do binge watch. And so I kind of thought about maybe putting them, making less, and people are all over me about it. They want to keep up the Trekyards, so we will do that. Next is Ray Anders. I have a name for fan-based Trekyards. Fast Trekyards for fans Starship Tech. So fast, fans for Starships Tech. It's an acronym, FAST. Fans for Starship Tech. Interesting, fast. We prefer to go with Trekyardians here. You're all Trekyardians, admit it. Chris Martin. Captain, it would be impossible to put out too many Trekyards episodes. Please continue to post the amount of content you guys do. Just went over that and definitely will. Aaron Day. I really love your shows. After many years of modding Armada 2, it's an amazing feeling to see more people that are into Trek as much as I am. I can't wait to see what's coming up and to buy some of your stuff online. We'll keep that in mind, and hopefully you'll have stuff to buy soon. One question though, is there a chance you guys could do some live verses on any of the games, Star Trek Online, Armada, between the various models? Interesting you should ask. That's something that's kind of been kicked around between Samuel and myself, doing like a tactical simulation show where we play one of the games with the mods, such as British Commander or something like that. We've done a few tests, and you never know, there might be a show like that coming down the line, so just stay tuned. Next is from ISS Enterprise. Looks like I need to get my dagger again. Keep up the good work. What do you think of the new Star Trek Beyond film coming out in 2016? Funny you should ask, because I've actually got stuff I'd like to talk about that later in the Captain's Log. I'm not really a big fan of the JJ verse, and if you're not a fan of the JJ verse, go check out my older videos that's called JJ's Star Trek Sucks and Here's Why. You might learn a few things. But no, I'm not closed-minded to JJ Trek at all. It's got its good aspects, like every Trek, and it's worth watching because it is Star Trek. But overall, I am kind of excited that there's a new one coming out, but at the same time, I'm like cringing that there's a new one coming out. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Thomas Clark is next. Hey, Captain, I think you should always do your Captain's Logs in uniform since it's an official log. Keep up the good work. I might have to start doing personal logs. Well, no, I do away mission vlogs sometimes. That's what I kind of started out with, and that's an away mission vlog that I first introduced, that I met Samuel and I've been talking to him about Trekyards, so it's kind of, and those are usually when I go for my walks in the evening, which I haven't been doing as much as I used to, but they're more of a informal, kind of just talking what's on my mind at the time, not always Trekyards related or answering your questions or anything. It's just kind of what's on my mind. Haven't done one in a while, but there's a playlist for away mission vlogs, so check those out also. Mike Seacrest. I actually have a question. I know about FASA, which I thought was Starfleet Battles, but I seem to remember for an earlier show that there is a version that is more canon. If that is the case, can you remind me what the canon version was? The non-canon aspects in FASA and Starfleet Command, as much as I love the game, always bugged me. Thank you. I like what they did for the ground combat, the hand phasers and hand rifles. What always bothered me about Star Trek was the way that Kirk would stand out in the open like a duelist when in a phaser fight. I was so happy to see us pulling past that in TNG and DS9. I did not hate the pulse phasers, but I liked how they used them in Axanar. On The one thing that bothered me about Star Trek ships is the lack of point defense. Yes. So if you were going to do a Star Trek reboot, I would make ground combat more realistic, i.e. people using cover, adding point defense to the Enterprise, and more ships in Starfleet with some instruments on the bridge, more realistic. Makes sense. Actually, if you look at the bridge consoles, a lot of them are very realistic and have a military basis. So, but as you were talking about, Starfleet battles and FASA are two different things completely. Starfleet battles uses the FASA, or uses the Franz Joseph designs from the technical manual, and FASA used what was on screen in the motion picture and Star Trek 2 kind of thing, and Star Trek 3. So all the movie licensed endorsed things were FASA, but Franz Joseph used more of the technical manuals, so stuff we never saw on screen. And it's funny because in Starfleet Command, or Starfleet, here we go, Starfleet Battles, there's something to talk about. In Starfleet Battles, there actually are point defense lasers that hit incoming drones, plasma torpedoes. You can damage weapons that are attacking you that aren't direct fire weapons. So it's interesting you brought that up, because that is something that is a thing in Starfleet Battles. Starfleet Command Volume 1 and 2 and 3 were based off of Starfleet Battles. So you can damage plasma torpedoes as they're coming at you. You can shoot phasers at them to damage them and take hit points off. So when they hit you, they have a lot less punch to them. So that's something that's very realistic and militaristic about Starfleet Battles and Starfleet Command. I don't know about FASA. FASA was more of a role-playing, like you said, there was ground-based stuff in that and whatnot. It was more of a role-playing aspect, whereas Starfleet Battles was more just ships. You had boarding parties and stuff, but it was handled differently than FASA. So interesting stuff there. And if you want to learn more about FASA or Starfleet Battles, please look it up. We are going to be doing different episodes on different aspects of these games and stuff, so that you guys can learn this stuff. And it's something I might include in Captain's Logs as well, because I'm a big Starfleet Battles fan and I want to share the information for that, because it's something that's very interesting to me and I think you guys would really enjoy it. So there you go. And yes, as for using cover in a firefight, absolutely, that's just common sense. And they did do that in TOS quite a bit, actually, if you go back and watch. But yeah, they do it in Deep Space Nine and everything else. So I see where you're coming from. Anyway, Ryan Ferguson, keep up the good work. It's not too much Trekyards. There's no such thing. The Captain's Logs are cool. Keep them up. Contest idea. Who can design the best version of the Enterprise that combines classic lineage with something new without design influence from J.J. Prize? Well, Gabriel Cornier is going to win that hands down, because that's the ship that I absolutely love. Question is, have you seen the promo for Star Trek Captain Pike? That's what I was just talking about. The Enterprise that you see in that is Gabriel Cornier's Enterprise. Beautiful ship, perfectly designed, and I think that should have been the one in JJ's universe. So I've always maintained that. I even have a video about that. Go back and check out my older videos. There's a lot of good ones that talk about these questions already. And it says how JJ's Enterprise should have looked. It's an old video. Check it out. Next is from Michael Lohr. Oh, almost forgot. In regards to Trekyards merchandise, y'all should look into using Spreadshirt.com. You can create your own shop, upload, I think it's shirt upload, your logo and designs for your merchandise you would like. They're made to order. There is no stocking of items on your end. Roddenberry.com uses them for their shirts. Just a thought. Yeah, there's a few different shirt sites that I've looked into and done mock-ups for, and I put up some of the mock-ups on the Trekyards Facebook page. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Ray Anders, the USS Arkansas NCC 63000. Love your shows, Trekyards and Captain's Logs. It's about time we have a show about Star Trek starships. I have been into Star Trek since the 70s, but starships were always where my heart is. I've designed some ships in the last 30 years, but my baby is this States class. The States class is an assault cruiser from 2309 to 2380. I do have a website where you can see it. It's http USS-Arkansas-States-class-YOLASITE.com. Check it out. Anytime you would like to use my ship and any other ships, you are welcome to use them. I hear you like the old fastest starship, Star Trek Tactical Combat Simulator. Will I have the States class ship sheet? You'll find that at the link that he sent there. Put on bottom of page, down on the bottom of the page. Tell me how you like the ship, good or bad, and you two keep up the great work. See you on the net. I'm going to take a look at the ship right now, and I'll let you know. I like the design. I wish there were some reviews of it. All we got is a side view here. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. This I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a fan of the Excelsior aesthetic, but cool looking ship. Very neat. Thank you for sharing that. Next is Gregory Dack. Another great captain's log. I laughed. I cried. It became a part of me. He didn't say that part, but I had to throw that in. It was a moment. Much thanks to you and your commander for all your hard work. Great information as always. As a side note, I'm a BSG nut. Last log, when you mentioned a possible fleet yards, my wife had to endure several hours of fanboy time. Tell her I'm very sorry for that. Too much content? Question mark. That sounds like complaining. That my beer is too good. That sounds like complaining. My beer is too good. Okay, gotcha. True. I swear, some people's kids. Again, please keep up the great work. Commander's log? Question mark. Yes. 2 weeks of Connie? Yes. All these things? Yes. Cannons? Laughing my ass off. He's got cannons with 2 ends. If you watch the last captain's log, you know what he's talking about. Next is Cuban Writer. It would be foolish to simply reduce output for the sake of decreasing volume of content. The only good reason to decrease output would be to multiply quality. So yeah, we have great quality here, so why reduce that? I mean, if we need to because of time constraints or real life, that might happen down the road, but we try to keep it up the way we have been for now. Ashley Bunker, been a while since last posted, just been busy, but always watch. Ashley Bunker is one of our biggest supporters, so. Can never have enough Trekyards. I was on holiday at War and Peace and locked myself in the APC to watch mission briefings. Well, that's cool. I enjoy all the different types of shows. Indeed, Sam is sometimes forget. Big thank you to him. Indeed, Sam is sometimes forgot. Oh. Let's try that again. Indeed, Sam is sometimes forgot, but big thank you to him. Absolutely. He does the lion's share of work on this show. He does all the editing. He gets all the clips. He does all that, and he puts it all together for the final polished product. He enhances the audio if need be. He does all that hard work. So big thank you to Samuel. Keep up the great work, and there would be no Trekyards without him, so... And look forward to Connie over the next 2 weeks. Ashley Bunker. Well, the 2 weeks is up. Hope you guys enjoyed the Connie mission briefings. Let me know what you thought, and I'll read those next time. Next is from Don L. Jackson. I don't think there was a problem at all with how frequent you post your videos. I get noticed when you guys post a new video, so I click and watch with excitement. Keep doing what you're doing. There is no need to change. I need more Trekyards. It's like crack. Totally agree on your thinking behind J.J. Abrams and Star Wars Episode 7. Now, hopefully, Justin Lin will do a better job in Star Trek Beyond, working with what has been established. Yeah, that's exactly right. No matter how good a director you are, you have to work with what's already been established, and... ew. But, like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. I didn't know about the 3D view screen. Cool bit of info there. Keep the facts coming. Happy belated 50th episode anniversary too. Sometime someone needs to make an animated GIF of your 50 episode happy dance. Michael Lohr. Yes, Samuel, we needs a commander's log. That would be awesome. As far as captain's log content ideas, couldn't really think of any, but a cool prize would be all of those flash animations and screensavers burned onto one DVD and mailed to the winner. That, yeah, would probably fill a DVD. I've got a lot of them. Next is from Peccatum D, Peccatum, capital DEI. DEI is pronounced the same as day in English, so Peccatum Dei. Peccatum Dei is Latin for mistake of God. That was his whole comment, just explaining his name. SWGS. There's only three more guys. There's only three more guys. You could include a Halo game series or Starblazer's Yamato ships in Fleet Yards. By the way, what do you guys think of Halo's ship designs? Never really played Halo, so I don't know. I'd have to look them up. And as for Starblazer's, awesome show, but it might be a possibility for a ship way down the line. I think we got other stuff to do before that, but thank you for the suggestion. Next from John Doe. Really? John Doe? That's it? Anyway, I really enjoy the output of this channel, and I loved watching the backlog of in-depth ship discussions after discovering this channel. Recently, I've been disappointed that the majority of new episodes are either briefings or previews or specials, and lack of deep dive into specific ships that drew me into this channel in the first place. I definitely enjoy the content that has been posted, but I do miss these kinds of episodes that were done earlier. Also, super jazzed about the 2 weeks of Constitution class. Those episodes that we did earlier, the in-depth ones, that's what Trekyards is about. Those are always going to be being made, but you got to realize that those episodes take a long time to research, long time to film, and a long time to edit for Samuel. It's like 12 hours per episode for 20 minutes, 25 minutes of content. So we came up with mission briefings and things like that, and talking to the designers, because it's a lot faster for us to, a lot of it's just on the fly, no scripting, no research, just looking at pictures, discussing things. A lot of it's asking questions of designers, which is also easy, and that makes Sam's editing time like an hour, 2 hours at most per episode, which is still 20 minutes. So keep that in mind, guys. It's a lot of hard work for us, and we do our best, but we want to bring you more content. That's why we're doing these different types of shows. But if you're not, those other shows that Trekyards was based on will never disappear. So don't worry about that. As a matter of fact, tomorrow being Saturday, is a regular Trekyards episode, and it's the Saber class, and it's a totally in-depth regular Trekyards episode. It's actually a fan-made one for one of our Indiegogo supporters, Aaron Walsh. So Aaron, keep an eye out for that. Everybody else, watch that. You're going to love it. It's fully in-depth on the Saber class. There's things that I didn't even know when I researched it that I found out that are just absolutely amazing. I love doing this show for that very reason. But please keep in mind, guys, we want to give you more content, which means we need to do different show formats. Because Samuel has to find all the clips, put all the clips in from different shows, different movies, whatever. I do most of the finding of pictures, send them to Samuel. He puts them in where appropriate. It just takes a lot of time. So that's why those in-depth ones, they're going to constantly be coming out, but they might be a little bit spaced out a bit. So just keep that in mind, please. We are doing our best. And Mr. Martecci, I know I already commented on this, but I just read something that it immediately came to my mind as something that could be a little Trek information for a captain's log, or even content for a Treknology episode. According to Memory Alpha, David Gerald once compared the situation of the TOS Federation space to Earth in the 18th century, with uncertain and long communication ways, colonization, and so on. I personally love the idea. Do you know that if this is considered canon? I am not sure, because I know far less about Star Trek era technology, and in addition to that, how much did that change in Star Trek universe over the following decades? In TNG, it still seems like it takes weeks for news and reactions of Starfleet to reach the outer planets, but in Deep Space Nine there seems to be almost live communications between at least all important Starfleet stations in the whole quadrant. That was one of the interesting aspects about TOS. It was like the frontier. You're out on the outskirts exploring, or in the New World exploring, and to send information back, either Pony Express rider or by boat, took a long time. Same with the subspace communications to Starfleet, took days or weeks sometimes. And yes, by the Next Generation era, it got more streamlined, more like it is today, where we're all kind of interconnected in this web, and the information is much more faster and free-flowing. But I mean, it's still like Earth today. If you go to certain areas of the planet where there's no communications, it still takes a while for information to get back and forth, or news from a big major country to, you know, a smaller little tribe, let's say. So it does, it's the same. It's the same as, it reflects kind of, yeah, the history of exploration, I guess. So there is that. Anyway, now let's move on with the rest of the show. Thank you guys very much for your comments and questions, and I hope I've answered them to your satisfaction. And this show's running long again. I apologize, but I want to make you all happy. So now it's time of the show where we get to talk about what I want to talk about. So first of all, David Lister, I got your package in the post. It's from England. David Lister sent me some patches. And here they are here. I want to share them with you guys. It's the Starship Kempenfelt patch. So thank you, David. I just wanted to let you know that I got these, and I love it. It's a cool design. Check out, he posts some things on the Facebook page, Trekyards. Check it out about the Starship Kempenfelt. I also got these two little ones that he sent right there. I should sew them on. Anyway, they'll be in. I'll put them up on the wall back here, David, so you'll see them probably during Trekyards episodes if I can find a good spot for them. But thank you very much. So that's the first order of business. Next one is about unboxings. I did the unboxing or a review, sorry, for the Wand Company TOS phaser. A lot of people liked it, and I got a new setup for my camera where I can put it on my desk and kind of do an unboxing. So if there's anything you guys want to see unboxed, maybe suggest it, and I will see about doing that. I have quite a few that I have in mind that aren't really unboxings per se. They're more of reviews of current items that I already have. So even if there's something like that you want to see, let me know. I'm more than happy to do those. I just don't want to bore people with too much content. And like you guys said in all your comments here, there's no such thing as too much content. So, I mean, especially for Star Trek fans, we're junkies. Like I said, this is like crack for you guys. So yeah, I got a few of those lined up. Maybe like the Klingon disruptor pistol from Art Asylum might be next. Pretty sure it's going to be next. Things like that. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to post them. They aren't Captain's Logs per se, but I want to put them in the Captain's Log playlist. And they also have their own playlist as well. So that's the other thing. If you guys want to ever check out my older videos, please do so. I got a lot of old ones when this channel started. This channel was about building Star Trek models and looking at my Star Trek collection and just talking about it. That's how Captain Foley started out. And then I did some movie reviews, and that's how Samuel found me, and he learned a few things that he didn't know, so he contacted me, and hence Trekyards. So guys, please check out my older videos. There's a lot of old, great content on here, and some really cool playlists that you guys will really enjoy, and it'll answer a lot of your questions before you even ask them, as we kind of got demonstrated in this episode. So that's pretty much it. I have made a decision about my look here, my USS Executioner design there. It's not a standard Constitution class ship. It is going to be a strike cruiser, a specific mission profile. That's why it is called the Executioner and not a standard Federation name, because it's always a name I've liked for my starship, but everybody points out, oh, it's not a Star Trek name. Well, that's true, but this is a surgical strike cruiser. It's designed specifically for certain missions, so it's got the USS Executioner title, which might come in important later. Just keep this little moment in history in mind, and you might figure out what I'm talking about down the road. So anyway, guys, I think that's about it for today's episode. Not too much that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I've had a few complaints that people feel bad for the commander, that he doesn't get things given to him like I do. I've had my Christmas in July video, my Christmas in August video, where friends of mine have donated things to me or given things to me. And get on that, guys. Anybody that knows Samuel, come on, send him stuff. I mean, you need our addresses, obviously, and Samuel doesn't add all you people to his friends list on Facebook like I do. I'm usually pretty generous. If you know, send me a friend request, I'll add you, because that's just how I am. I guess I'm a media whore. Samuel's not. He's more of a private person. He only adds people that he knows, and even then, some of our special guest stars and stuff he hasn't even added to his personal Facebook page. So I feel kind of honored to be on there. So thank you, Samuel. But yeah, that is, I think, it for now. Oh, no, it's not. Star Trek 3. You guys have been waiting. Sorry, I almost completely forgot about that. I promised you guys that I would talk to you about Star Trek 3. Now, if you haven't seen already, there's been leaked footage from Star Trek 3 showing the new uniforms. And if we go down here, it's right there. There's Kirk in the new uniform. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's a gray uniform. Here, I'm just gonna do this old school style. So that's the new uniform. Well, it looks like it's probably an away mission uniform, because in that same video, if you just go on and check out, go into Google and type in Star Trek 3 leaked footage, you're going to see this. I'm not a huge fan of JJ Verse, but I like this uniform. It's very almost Firefly-ish. He's got the holster, it's strapped to his leg, and the gray shirt with the gray jacket. I think that's really cool. I've heard a few people say that it's not Star Trek at all, but in a way, it kind of is. If you go back to the Cage, remember the away mission, or the landing party? They actually had the gray jumpers, so he kind of looks almost like Captain Pike. Side by side there. I should have pictures on the screen, but I'm new to all this editing video stuff. I'm sure there's a very simple way to put pictures on the screen, and Samuel's yelling at me right now going, "It's so easy! You just gotta use your editing software." And I know that, Samuel. But I mean, that would make the Captain's Logs probably more interesting if I could pop up a video display every once in a while of what I was talking about. So it's something I'll look into for future episodes, but I don't want to do it today. But yeah, so interesting new uniforms. They're kind of a callback almost to the Cage, I think. I kind of like them. And it's harsh kind of hearing me say that, because I'm not a huge fan of the JJ verse. So me to say anything that I like about it is kind of... But like I said, they've all got their good points. Everything Star Trek has a good point. Even JJ. Just on his Enterprise. Might be one or two things about the Enterprise, but no. Anyway, also for this leaked footage, you see Scotty in his regular red tunic, but it's got kind of dark stripe down on the inside sleeve. So it's kind of a new take on it. And he's also got like a smartwatch almost on. So I don't know if that's like a Star Trek, the motion picture communicator, where it's the wrist communicator, but it's kind of a neat take on that. But that's some good footage. And there's also an alien in that has a white face and like black lines on her face. Like I said, check it out yourselves, guys, so you can see high quality video and pictures of it. But the alien kind of throws me, because it looks almost like the aliens from Star Trek Into Darkness, the beginning of the movie, the Primitives ones. They have the white face and the black markings on their face. It's just almost exactly the same, but the skin texture is totally different. And this one, she's not a primitive tribe at all. She's actually got like technology that she's showing Kirk how to use, kind of thing. So, and she's wearing like modern clothes. So I think it's a different race, which means you guys have no imaginations if you're coming up with a race that looks exactly like the race you used in your last movie. So I have problems with that. But we don't know the whole story yet. Like I said, it's just leaked footage, so take that for what it's worth. But I think that's it for today, guys, and I really appreciate all of you watching and putting up with me. These are kind of therapeutic for me to do. I love talking to you guys. I can be in a foul mood and be like, I want to make a Captain's Log today. Get on here and be all chipper and like, I love you guys. And by the end of it, after I edit it and watch it for any mistakes, which there are usually plenty of, most of which I don't edit out because I just want this to be raw Captain Foley. But no, I watch them and it cheers me up. So I'd like to thank you guys for that and for being there for me. And yeah. Anyways, this is Captain Foley signing off until next time. which is tomorrow. Trekyards, Saber class, full episode, lots of detail, way back to our old formula. Aaron Walsh, you better like it. I'm telling you, you better like it. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. And Trek it. See, there. I should have edited that out. See you tomorrow in the Treknology episode, or next time in the Captain's Logs, or Mission Briefing on Wednesday, or probably an extended episode on Wednesday. And here I am rambling. This is how I am, just so you know. I just want you guys to know who I am. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you very soon. Check out tomorrow's episode, and bye.